If you're doing everything you can to manage your time and run your home well, yet you're still ending the day feeling behind and frustrated, you're not alone. Most moms at some point slip into the same 3 time management mistakes without even realizing it. And these tiny patterns quietly steal hours from your days. So in this video, I'm going to walk you through those top 3 time management mistakes that moms keep making so that you can finally get your precious time back. Let's start with the first mistake. And honestly, it is the one that keeps a lot of moms stuck without even noticing. Mistake number 1 is reacting to everything as if it's equally important. Even when you have routines, it is so easy to get pulled into what feels urgent. The last minute outings, the errands you didn't plan for, the extra tasks or projects that you really want to get to, and the things that really could have waited. And before you know it, you're rearranging your whole day around things that weren't actually important, simply because they showed up in front of you and they felt like they needed to be handled right then. For me, it often looked like this. I would start the day normally, laundry, meals, and then dive into something like a cluttered closet because it felt urgent, because I didn't like seeing it. Then suddenly the whole day would be off track and I would be frustrated. Eventually, I realized that even with routines, I was reacting to the day and letting the tyranny of the urgent pull me into things that actually didn't need to be handled right then. So instead of setting intentional time aside for projects like that, I kept reacting in the moment. And that's what this mistake does. It pulls your focus in 10 different directions. You work hard all day, but it never feels like you're actually moving anything forward. And the way out of this cycle is to build routines and systems that are intentionally designed for your home and your season of life. Because every mom has routines. The home is cyclical, but not every routine is effective. So the real question is, do your routines move your home forward on purpose and in a calm way? Are you trying to get everything done in your routines? Or have you truly dialed them down to the most important things in your home? Because a huge key to having routines that actually fit your life and that actually work is not trying to do everything that there is to do, but knowing what the right things are for your home and for your season, and then doing those things consistently. When your routines are intentionally thought through and they don't aim to get everything done, but the right things done consistently, then you naturally know what to say yes to and what to say no to, because your time is already accounted for and it's anchored by what really matters in your home. But here's where so many of us get stuck. We never pause long enough to think through the 2 things that would actually help us stop reacting to everything. And that leads right into the second mistake. One of the biggest reasons that urgency takes over and crowds out what actually matters to us. So if you fix this, you'll finally have clarity around what's important. By the way, if you want help building rhythms like this that help you manage your home in a more restful way, check out my free masterclass. I'll walk you through this a bit more in depth, step by step. You can grab that down below. But let's get back to it. The second mistake is not slowing down long enough to really think through 1, your priorities, and 2, your pain points. And this mistake makes everything in your day feel a whole lot heavier than it needs to. So let's start with your priorities. The world would say that productivity means getting as many tasks done as efficiently as possible. But for the Christian homemaker, it is not true productivity to check off as many tasks as possible. To be productive as a Christian means to be faithful and good stewards of what God has put in front of us, and to prize what He prizes. As part of that, being good keepers of the home and being competent at a lot of those skills, absolutely, but it's not the only thing. Scripture also tells us to love our husbands and our children, and that actually shows up in the text before keepers of the home in Titus 2. Our relationships are part of our stewardship too. Baking bread is holy, and also reading a book to your toddler is holy. Taking some time to connect with your husband is holy. These are all part of the work that God has entrusted to us, the good work. And the hard part is what's most important isn't always what feels the most urgent. The urgent things shout at us. And the important things, like what I just mentioned, are quiet often. They get crowded out unless you make space for them intentionally. So this is why it's really important to slow down and name your actual priorities. And that's just really essential for the Christian. And your days and routines really need room for what matters most, even if those things aren't the loudest ones demanding your attention. I've been so guilty of this myself, but slowing down to name my priorities and then recalibrate whenever I notice myself getting frantic or letting busyness take over, that has been the thing that has kept me grounded and aligned with what God's put in front of me to steward and with what's actually important to me. The second part of this mistake is, again, not slowing down long enough to think through your pain points. So many moms just power through the same stressful moments day after day, but they never actually pause to ask, what is the actual problem? Or what would make this part of my home run smoother, not someone else's home? If you don't identify the pain point, you end up repeating the same frustration again and again. Even when, if you slow down long enough to think through it, even when a small shift could bring so much relief. But when you know both your priorities and your pain points, this suddenly gives so much clarity. And at that point, you're more equipped to steer the ship and manage your home in a way that is so much more effective and actually more restful. At that point, you know what deserves your time and your energy and what doesn't. And that brings us right into the third mistake. And this is really one that keeps moms running on fumes, treating this life like it's a sprint and not a marathon. By the way, if we haven't met yet, I'm Lauren. I'm a homeschooling mom of 5. And here on this channel, I teach practical ways to build rhythm and rest into the heart of your home. If that sounds like something you need, be sure to like, subscribe, and tap that notification bell so that you don't miss my weekly videos. And the third mistake is this: trying to manage your home without any margin or rest at all, or very little. This shows up when we pack our days full, when we pack our calendars full, and never slow down long enough to recover, to connect with our people, or honestly to breathe. So many moms go 7 days a week, and they never really give themselves the space or the rest that God designed us to need. I used to be so bad at resting. I'm naturally very fast-paced and self-driven, and I would run myself into the ground, packing our calendar full, working nonstop, and eventually burning myself out. My husband is the opposite. He's slower, he's more thoughtful, he's very wise, and over the years, he's taught me the value of actually slowing down and resting, and I am so grateful for his leadership here. So I definitely prioritize rest now, both in my life and in what I teach, but it took me a long time to get there and to unlearn old patterns and relearn more life-giving, healthy ways to live. So with that in mind, I want to share 3 simple ways that you can build rest and margin into your life. Number 1, one of the biggest helps for moms is building in some kind of daily rest. Setting aside even 30 minutes to read, to work on a project without interruption, if that's restful to you, or moving your body, or honestly taking a nap, especially if you're in first trimester or losing a lot of sleep at night. It's basically just a small pocket of time to pace yourself throughout the day, catch your breath, regroup. And by the way, if that feels impossible because your kids might, if they don't have a quiet rest time yet at this point, that may be something to slowly and gently train into your home rhythm and teach that to your children. It's something that I teach inside my course because it's been such a blessing and a support to everyone in the home. And then the second one, there is weekly rest, the weekly Sabbath. Scripture does not command Christians to observe the Sabbath in the same way that Israel did, but Jesus did say that the Sabbath was made for us. He gives it to us as a blessing and not a burden. And as our Creator, He knows our limits. He knows that we are creatures made in His image and we're not machines. So He modeled it Himself. He worked 6 days and He rested on the 7th. So when we honor that rhythm in our own way, we're agreeing with Him about how we're designed to live. And truly, it becomes incredibly life-giving and deeply helpful. And the last piece of this is margin. Margin in your day, margin in your routines, and margin in your calendar. Margin simply means not packing your days and your weeks completely full. A big part of this is learning to say no to what is good so that you can say yes to what is best. So personally, I do not pack our calendar full anymore. I found it incredibly valuable to make room to relax, actually put blocks in our days to not have anything planned sometimes, to connect with my family and to simply enjoy the home that we're building. So it's really good to leave space for life to happen, both inside your daily routines and throughout your week. Margin allows you to cultivate a warm, hospitable home, a place where your family can breathe and grow, and a place that you can even invite others in to enjoy as well. In a world that runs at a frantic pace, refuse to join the hustle. Work hard, but also rest hard. Savor the good good gifts that God has placed in your life. And if you want help building rhythms like this, rhythms that bring both structure and rest into your home, I would love again to invite you to watch my free masterclass. I'll walk you through this step by step, and you can grab that down below. Thank you so much for being here today, and I'll see you in the next one.